Live from the Student Union on campus, this is Gold Mine Live. Your weekly all-access pass inside Charlotte Athletics is brought to you by Ortho Carolina, proud to present the 2017 Charlotte 49ers football season. Bojangles, it's bow time. Your Carolina Ford dealers. Go to yourfordchoice.com and enter the Adventure Ready giveaway to win a 2017 Escape or Fusion from your Carolina Ford dealers. Harris Teeter, where 49ers fans shop for groceries. University Eye Associates. And by Wells Fargo. Charlotte 49er fans, show your pride with a customized Wells Fargo debit card. Stop by your nearest Wells Fargo or visit Wells Fargo Card Design Studio online to learn more. Now, here's your host, the voice of the 49ers, Matt Swearad.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Gold Mine Live. And this week, still in the middle of college basketball season. We'll take a week off, though, from talking basketball with Houston Fancher and bring in football coach Brad Lambert. National Signing Day coming up on Wednesday, which is the second one. We had the first one back in December. It was the first time that's ever happened with the rule change this year. We had 18 players sign in December. We'll talk about them. The schedule came out recently for next year. We'll talk about that. Got a big signing day dinner coming up on Wednesday night, hosted by my partner Kevin Donnelly, who's up here as well as we have him here for all the coaches' shows. So a lot to talk about the next 60 minutes. Coach, good to see you. I know you've been really busy.
Good to see you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, we've been a little busy.
Yeah, you get to reintroduce yourself to Angie back at home and the kids. You've been gone forever.
Yeah, and get back out on the field. We started this morning at 5:30, so get back on the field with the guys, and that's always to get back with your guys. Been on the road so much and out in high schools and seeing kids, and this new rule change is kind of interesting. January was a little different turn this year. Working a lot on the 19 class, because we signed most of the class in December. We'll sign a few more guys on Wednesday, but we're just trying to get a head start on the 19 season, as everybody is.
A lot to talk about, but also before you know it, we're into February. Spring ball's around the corner.
Yeah, about another month we'll be back out on the field. Get these guys through what I call phase one, through our off-season conditioning program, in the weight room, heavy weights, like I say, early morning workouts, things like that. And then we'll get back on the field and work on the football piece.
Coming up on Wednesday is the dinner we have every year, the signing day dinner. It's going to be a little bit different this year. Kevin Donnelly's going to be the MC. Kevin, it's going to be at 6 o'clock in the SAC here on campus. Tickets are still available, $20 I think a person. Tell us about that.
It's basically similar to what we've done in the past, just a little bit different format in terms of how we get the information out there. So it's going to be all about the coaches, Coach Lambert and his staff, and what they did on the road to bring in this recruiting class that'll make up this 2018 group. And so I think it's a great time for people to be able to come out if they want to come out there and be able to see the coaches, talk with the coaches a little bit, and get the interaction from them as they went on the road to recruit all these guys, which I think is the best recruiting class this school has gotten here since its inception. A lot of high-quality talent along a lot of different positions of need, certainly. And I think it's just a great time to see the coaches up close and personal. It's easy to get to. You just go on charlotte49ers.com/upcoming events. And I tell you what, you just go on there, you can get in, $20 a person, but you got food, you got drink. It's going to be a lot of good fellowship with 49er fans, and we're expecting a great turnout. So if you're interested in going, get signed up. We'd love to have you there.
It always is a lot of fun. I've been to a couple of them. I'll have to be out of town this week with the basketball team. I can't make this one. But, Coach, I know you love being on the road, just kind of talking to the families and getting the kids excited about becoming 49ers. And this is a chance that you guys get a chance to share some of those stories with the fans.
Yeah, it's always, you kind of look behind the curtain a little bit. The video's pretty much all out there. We'll have video playing, but kind of things you go through. All of our staff's out there working extremely hard, and kind of behind the scenes of what we did with this guy or that guy, and kind of what I had to eat when I was on the road and things like that. So it's always fun.
Looks like you've kept yourself in shape, though. Not too many seconds or thirds on the meal trail.
I don't know about that. I couldn't go very long right now, I promise you.
And where are these guys going? I mean, you obviously, as we can see, there's tons of stuff that you've done locally here. You've hit up all these high schools. You've gotten some good talent locally, but these guys are all over the place because there's football players to be found everywhere, including some of the JUCOs out west, down in Florida, Virginia, and, of course, other parts of North Carolina. had to have racked up a bunch of miles.
Yeah, you do. You're kind of all over the place. The junior college recruiting is the one that kind of takes you out of the area. Our core's always been North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and then we kind of expand from there. But the junior college piece, I was up in Buffalo, New York on a Sunday night. Then you're back in Atlanta. Then you're back in Charlotte on Tuesday. So you're kind of all over the place right now. But that's the fun piece of recruiting is you get to meet the families and be in their homes and it just takes you to a lot of different places, and that's the fun part about recruiting is getting to know people and hearing their story, and even guys you don't get. You sit in homes that of kids that don't come to your school. So it's just it's an interesting time, and it's a chaotic 2 months, December and January, getting to both the signing days now, but it can be a little chaotic.
Well, and before he gets here, Coach Ulrick Edmonds is going to be here, so we can talk nice about him before he gets here so he doesn't get a big head. But I think did a really nice job of keeping you guys all organized as the recruiting coordinator, because so much does go into it when you got 8, 9 guys heading out in all different directions and you're wanting to see as many people as you can. You got to be efficient.
No question. Coach Edmonds has done a fabulous job. Has done it for a year now for us. Took that over last year about this time, and so really been impressed with him and the job he's done. He's a fabulous football coach, really, really good man, good family man, and he's a heck of a recruiter. He's always looking for, he's a creative guy in recruiting, and that's what I really like about him. He's always looking to do the next thing and be creative in our recruiting process, and at the same time is extremely organized. So he's done a fabulous job for us.
Yeah, his last thing is the 2019 board's already up in his office.
That's right.
I mean, it is loaded down. It's a 10-foot long white board there, and the magnets of all the players that he's targeting for next year. So he's doing a good job.
He has.
Well, we got the signing date, the second one coming up on Wednesday. We can't talk about any players that you may be signing on Wednesday, but of course you had that group that came into December, and it really has kind of changed things. A lot of coaches thought maybe you might get a couple of guys early and then this would still be the main one, but as it turns out, most schools, they just hit that December one and load it up.
Yeah, I think the majority of the kids signed in December. There'll still be a pretty good number that sign on Wednesday. Everybody held some scholarships to make sure. So it's different for us. This is the first time we've done it, and then we have the 25 hard cap on that as well. So, from August 1st to July 31st, you can only sign 25 guys, including guys on your team. So you have to manage that number and make sure you're within the rules on your 85 cap on your roster, and then the 25 within the year. So there's been some interesting things come up, pushing guys to next year. If you can, talk a guy into coming in August, things like that that could come up. But it's been interesting. I like it personally. I really thought it was a good thing for us, to get them signed in December and not have to worry about them, going somewhere else, and then, see the ones that are still available that you're still recruiting in January, and then start on your 19 class.
Has there been any more movement or talk about the potential rule change next year where you could have a kid play maybe in 3-4 games and also get a red shirt, which would really benefit so many teams and give these guys an opportunity to get some added experience?
Yeah, that rule changes in the process, and it allow a kid to play in 4 games. For example, a guy like Cam Duncan this year, we had to play him in 2. We didn't really have a choice. Benny LeMay went down. Then AMAC, got to play, and he gets a little dinged in the game. So the alternative was just leave him in there partially injured and not burn a red shirt. So that's the point of the rule. It's really about player safety and player welfare, and not having to worry about make that decision whether to burn a year. And Cam, we had to play him. We didn't have a choice. He played in 2 games last year, and this rule would allow you to go ahead and play a guy in 4 games, and it doesn't matter when it is in the season, and you could still redshirt him. So I think it'll open up a lot of things for some freshmen to come in and get their feet wet and maybe play some and still be able to redshirt. So I think it's a really good rule. And the other rule that's kind of in the works, so to speak, is going from 105 to 110 for preseason camp in August. I think it's a good rule. The ACC had proposed a rule where it was unlimited. You guys bring as many guys as you wanted. They kind of settled in on 110. And so I'll be interested to see if that rule passes. I think it's got a real good chance to pass as well.
Well, Coach, great having you back here, and looking forward to talking more about this recruiting class over the next 50 minutes or so. We'll take our first break, though, right now. Come back and maybe start breaking down some of the offensive players that are coming in that first class that we signed back in December. The 18 guys that are coming in. We're breaking down offense, then defense after that, special teams. We'll take a timeout. This is Goldmine Live with head coach Brad Lambert and the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Okay, it's Ford Truck Month, and here's how it works. You take F-150, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, work in best-in-class towing and payload, sweeten up the offer, and boom, look who just saved a stack of cash. Step on it, sport. Drive home America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. Ford Truck Month is here. It's buy now time, people.
Right now, get $10,459 in total savings on a 2018 F-150 during Ford Truck Month, only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift? We've got you. Guitar? Coming tomorrow. Road game today? Surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Hotel! Guitar? Reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party? Relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
Welcome back, Goldmine Live with head coach Brad Lambert alongside Kevin Donnelly. I'm Matt Swarad talking about the 2018 signing class for the Niner football team. The first part of the class was signed back in December, and 18 members signed, 11 3- and 2-star prospects, 4 junior college transfers coming in, and a couple of prep school players as well. We mentioned before the last break, kind of break things down, offense, defensive, and special teams. And, Coach, we'll start on the offense. And I'm just going to go down the list. It's alphabetical, but one of the wide receivers, I know you got a talented group coming back, some guys that redshirted you really are high on, but you bring in Rico Arnold, who's out of Athens, Georgia.
Yeah, Rico's a guy that we took 4 guys at wideout because we lost 4, and we had, like you say, we had 3 guys redshirted, but our numbers are down, so we still needed to bring in a good number of guys. Rico's actually in last year's class, and we gray shirted him, brought him in January, so he's with us now. And he's been a lot of fun to watch work out so far. I've seen him run a couple of times. He can really run well. So he's a year older, so that'll be good. But we're really fortunate Rico's here, and look for the impact he'll have this spring. It's nice that he's here, can have an impact in spring ball.
Yeah, and he's a fantastic-looking athlete. You know, you guys do these competition teams in the off-season to really keep guys focused and challenged, and you kind of divide them up into smaller groups. And some of those mid-year guys that came in, Rico Arnold was like first off the board as these guys drafted, and they were captains of these teams and trying to get them on their little competition team. And that says a lot about the athleticism and the speed that he brings and what they're kind of looking for. It's good to add him to the roster.
Yeah, no question. He's got good length with him. He and Chris Wiggins, another wideout that came in January, both of them got really, really good length and can run. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see their impact on our team here in the spring.
Wiggins out of Greensboro, went to Grimsley High School. He also brought a tight end in Jacob Hunt, a couple of tight ends actually.
Yeah, we had a couple of tight ends. Jacob's a freshman that we signed down in Rome, Georgia, at Darlington School, and we've been going to that school for a long time. But his dad's actually the defensive coordinator there, so he's a big guy that I think can really help us in both phases of the game, run blocking and pass catching. So really excited about him. And then, you know, Moss is a junior college guy that came in from Dodge City and got good length to him. He's with us now, so he'll go through spring ball, and we want to utilize the tight end a little bit more. And I think Moss is a guy that's got a chance to help us on the line as an H, stretch the field a little bit as a pass catcher. And he's a little bit older guy. He's still got 3 years to play 3, so he's a real attractive JC guy because he was a high school qualifier and then went to prep school for a year and then went out to Dodge and played. So he's got some good years ahead of him. Yeah,
and with Moss Sacamano, he is still kind of raw, new to the tight end position, but has blazing speed. You know, some people were saying he ran a 4.58 when he was out in Kansas last year, and so adding that, plus he bulked up a lot since high school. He looks good. He's here early, Matt. He's another good-looking player that's entered the program.
He does, and having those mid-year guys is real critical because they go through what I call phase one here in this off-season period in the weight room. So they get involved in your team right away, and they can have an impact in the fall.
6'5", 235 too. We just watched a game last night, the Super Bowl. Had two really talented tight ends, big guys that are pass receivers, and you got a new offensive coordinator coming in this year, Shane Montgomery. Do you expect to utilize the tight end maybe more in that role?
Yeah, no question. We want to get the tight ends involved in the offense and move them a little bit, play two tight ends some, and to do that you got to get more guys on campus. And Moss is a guy we feel like can help us.
So overall on the offensive side, pretty pleased with the group you got coming in right now.
Yeah, and then the other piece is the offensive linemen. There are three guys that came in here at mid-year. This is the most, the largest number of mid-year guys we've brought in since we've been here. 9 guys came in, 5 high school guys, 4 junior college players. So the 3 offensive linemen that came in, I think, can have an impact. High school guy Malik Harkness came in from down Columbia, South Carolina. He started early. He's a really athletic guy. Been really impressed with him. He moves around extremely well. He's got good length. We'll see if he can be an impact this spring. And then, the junior college guys that came in, Dom, he's got a chance to really add some depth to us. John Timmons is a big guy. He's 350 pounds. We're trying to get his weight down a little bit. But those guys will add a lot of added depth in our offensive line. You got to be really good in the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and then just a point on that is as you've developed this program over the last few years, going into spring, when you lose a couple of classes like you did that were heavy on seniors the last couple of years, it makes it lean and mean sometimes for spring ball. So getting those mid-year guys in is critical, and especially at that offensive and defensive line positions, you guys are going into spring ball probably the best situation numbers-wise since the beginning.
No doubt about it. This is the biggest roster we've had in the spring since we've been here. Last year was eye-opener last year when all those seniors walked out the door and you started in January and the numbers were extremely low. And so this year's kind of the opposite. I think we're about 95 guys on our roster right now, so it'll be interesting to watch this spring. But this added depth will really help us and help those guys as they prepare for the fall. It's critical that you get to go through the off-season in spring. And so really excited that we could bring some mid-year guys in and get them involved in our team.
And what really that means is the quality of practice, too, that fans will be able to see at the spring game leading up to it. Listen, you have guys now, you got bodies. You don't have to work. Last year with only maybe 7 offensive linemen, how are we going to best use them that we don't overdo it, get guys hurt? You can't really even have a good spring game with so few guys. But now the quality of practice is you can hit more, you can be more physical, you can teach a lot more, and that's just going to help the team going forward.
You can work on your fundamentals a lot more, and that's the key is, you can fundamentally play against each other because the numbers are up. And so that'll be real critical.
Opens up more competition, too, and you talked about the guys coming back from this last year, just everybody battling for everything. Nothing is given right now.
That's correct. We want to create competition in everything we do. Kevin mentioned earlier about we start that in the month of January with our teams within our team, and so they compete on everything, whether it's academics, whether it's going out in the community and serving others. Kevin does a real nice job of that for us. Whether it's competing on the field, we want to create competition, and that's what we've got to do, and teach the guys how to win and get them in that mindset when we hit August.
Some guys finish the season banged up a little bit. How's everybody doing health-wise as you get kind of towards spring ball and you want to have them all healthy?
That's the other piece about having a bigger roster is because you always have some guys that won't be able to compete in the spring because of year-ending surgeries, whether it be a shoulder surgery. We'll have a few guys out. A guy like John Hardy's still battling with a concussion issue he had in the fall, and we'll have a few other guys. But for the most part, we're pretty healthy. Really, been excited about the guys that are going to, working through the training room. And I think we'll have some guys. Nafis Lyons, a guy that missed the whole year. He had that Liz Frank injury in July, so he missed the whole year. He's a DB that's going to compete for a starting job, so he'll be back. He's running well now, and so excited about watching him get back out there in a football uniform.
We'll take a timeout on the show. Still a lot more to come talking about this 2018 signing class. We'll talk about the schedule a little bit later on. It's pretty exciting. Opening up with the 3 consecutive home games this coming season. All starts on September the 1st. And again, if you're just joining us, we've got the signing day dinner coming up on Wednesday night, 6 o'clock here on campus in the SAC. It's will be hosted by Kevin Donnelly. You can get your tickets still, $20 per person to come out for that this coming Wednesday night. We'll take a timeout right now. Come back, talk with Ulrick, Edmonds, assistant coach. He's our recruiting coordinator. He'll spend some time with us coming up next, the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Okay, it's Ford Truck Month, and here's how it works. You take F-150 Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, work in best-in-class towing and payload, sweeten up the offer, and boom, look who just saved a stack of cash. Step on it, sport. Drive home America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. Ford Truck Month is here. It's buy now time, people.
Right now, get $10,459 in total savings on a 2018 F-150 during Ford Truck Month, only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift? We've got you. Guitar? Coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Guitar. Reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party. Relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
The Student Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Ortho Carolina, the official team physician of your Charlotte 49ers. This week's Ortho Carolina Student Athlete of the Week is Ryan Murphy. Murphy is a redshirt freshman on the men's basketball team from Calabasas, California. Murphy has provided an offensive spark for the 49ers with his hot shooting this season. He scored a career-high 27 points against Old Dominion after making all 6 of his attempted three-pointers and has been a valuable scoring option in Conference USA play for Charlotte. Off the court, Murphy is a pre-business major and was named to the athletic director's academic honor roll for the fall 2017 semester with a GPA over 3.0. Ryan Murphy, the Ortho Carolina Student Athlete of the Week. This has been the Ortho Carolina Student Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Ortho Carolina, the official team physician of your Charlotte 49ers.
Welcome back to Gold Mine Live, and we're talking Niner football today, taking a break from basketball, but the basketball team is on the road this week, going to Louisiana Tech on Thursday. Catch all the action on the Charlotte IMG Sports Network. Will be at Southern Miss on Saturday. But our special guest right now is Ulrick Edmonds, who's our assistant football coach with the Niners, but recruiting coordinator, #1 right now, and good to see. I know you've been really busy, Coach. You've been on the road forever. You got to get reacclimated to campus. We're still here right now and looking forward to spring ball. Tell us about your trip so far, what it's been like getting out there and just trying to sell this program.
Well, going on the road recruiting is always a great thing. You get to talk to head coaches at the high school level. You get to meet people in the school, guidance counselors, teachers, and they always have good things to say about the program, about Charlotte, the direction it's going. A lot of alumni in the state of North Carolina talk about the transition of the university, what it was 10 years ago to what it's now, and everybody's really excited. One of our main things this last time we went out was to make sure we got in every high school in the state of North Carolina, and there are a lot of Charlotte 49er faithful out there who really want to see us do well, and that was really encouraging, and it was great. Lots of excitement.
When you took this position now, your second year as the recruiting coordinator, what's it been like from year 1 to year 2, and how have you seen it grow?
Well, with the early signing period, that kind of sped things up. And each year you do something, you kind of learn from the last year, you get better at it. And as a staff, Coach Lambert is great as far as letting us run off with ideas to see how they kind of work themselves out. And I think a lot of the things that we did were really helpful in the recruiting process. It's a different type of individual, different type of student athlete that we're recruiting now than we were 10 years ago. So the times change, and so does our recruiting strategies.
As you really took this job over and made it your own, what were some things that you felt were priorities first and foremost? You mentioned getting to every school in the state, but what were some other things that you absolutely had to see this program do if it was going to take a next step forward?
Just organizing people in areas that they could be really strong in. Kind of making sure that everybody felt like, hey, I'm a part of this, I'm a big part of this, and just getting everybody organized and not putting them on the same page because we already were on the same page, but like you said, just adding some new dimensions to our recruiting strategies and techniques and kind of how we reached out to high school coaches, how we reach out to parents, how we reach out to prospective student athletes when that time comes. Just kind of moving along with the times. It is the year 2018, so we can't do it like we did it in 2001.
Well, I know organizationally, some of the nuts and bolts of what you're trying to do, you're keeping guys organized and really did a great job on the road with making sure you used travel efficiency and got to see everybody you wanted to see. But other components is the type of kids that you're looking for. I really got to talk to a bunch of the coaches last week and this week about specific guys they recruited. And it almost seemed like to a man, they're all like, well, this guy, great GPA, high character. People in the school love him. No one had anything bad to say about the kid. Sometimes even rival schools, that's a kid that we would want to recruit if we were a college recruiter. That's encouraging to see that you've put that priority on those kind of guys.
Yeah, when I took over the position, the first thing Coach Lambert said is I want to make sure I see a resume on each individual that we recruit. And that resume for a high school student is his transcript. So we took high priority in making sure that we recruited the individuals that could be successful at the college level. With that being said, the same things that make kids successful in the classroom make them successful on the football field. So they've been preparing themselves for those 4 years. Discipline, making sure they go to class, making sure they show up on time, making sure they follow through, making sure they execute their assignments. Those are all things that we look for. So why not take a guy who's a 3.8 or a 4.0 who's already doing those things, and they just translate to other parts in his life, and that's probably why he's a good football player anyway.
Yeah, and I think, another dimension also is, okay, you've targeted the guys, you've been organizational with how you get to these guys, then getting them on the campus, because being a new program, how many times have we heard people come in the building like, we didn't know this was here, we didn't know you had such great facilities, the weight room is incredible, so you've had to kind of market it and get guys here. And these guys are falling in love with it. Parents are falling in love with it. You guys have done a good job of not only marketing the football program, but the school, because they come away with it very impressed with what Charlotte's doing.
Yeah. Recently we had a junior day, and we had lots of parents speaking of the same things you were talking about. They were blown away. And one of the things Coach Lambert did, I've only been here 2 seasons, is he's recruited some great student athletes. And we had a player panel. And there was 8 of our guys on the player panel, and the moms and dads walked away, and they were like, we've never had anything like this, interaction with student athletes. And you kind of see in their eyes, and that's part of recruiting. It's like, wow, I like my son to be that guy. Whoever that guy, we had guys from Minnesota, guys from junior colleges, freshmen, sophomore, juniors, but they're like, wow, man, these men are helping these kids become men themselves, and that's really, really important to parents when they're looking to make a college decision for their sons or to help them with that college decision.
You mentioned a little bit different now than it was 10 years ago, and a lot of that probably is technology and social media and things like that. You can't find a guy and hide him anymore. Like, this guy's not going to be seen. I mean, there's just, Coach mentioned this video out there on everyone we've signed already. It's a little bit different now in 2018, isn't it?
Yes, social media, the internet, it's changed everything. There are no more diamond in the roughs. So with that being said, you have to make sure that you yourself turn over every stone on that guy. Because if you recruit, that's why we try to localize and recruit and do the best within a 5-hour radius. Because if you go 15 hours away, think of all the universities that have went by that same high school. So the further you get away, the less information or the accuracy of information that you have on those individuals. So we try to do a great job of within a 5-hour radius of making sure that we do all of our research on every guy. Because like you said, it's hard to have a guy not be known by his sophomore or junior year now.
Yeah, and all those highlight tapes too. You never see a highlight tape where a guy missed a tackle, right? So you got to get out there and really see the real 60 minutes.
And even in that, one of the services we use, we can get every high school game on a kid the day after he plays it. I mean, from any state, California, Georgia, Alabama, Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina. So as soon as that kid plays, his coach uploads it, and every college coach in America can watch his high school game, the entire game. It's I remember back in the day, you had these VHS tapes, and you had to take a tape into a high school, give him the tape, and then he'd give you a tape back. So at the end of this time now, I would bring back 195 tapes in like 6 boxes in my car, So And that didn't fit back in the day in the Monte Carlo SS.
And I'll tell you, it's a game changer in terms of recruiting because you're going to see all these highlight tapes that make everybody look amazing.
Yeah.
But then it's like, let's go to the game film.
Right.
Let's check out, let's see all the scars and the warts on this player. Yeah. Hopefully there's not many, but you're not going to always get that on that highlight tape.
Right, yeah. And that's one of the things with the resources we have. We make sure that we look at game film. If we say, okay, the highlight film is really good. This kid has a really good transcript now. Let's look at some game film. Let's make sure that we like to find guys that play offense, defense, and special teams because that shows in his high school that his coach believes in him and that he's athletic and that he's trustworthy to be on special teams to help their team win in all three phases.
And as Coach said, you guys have already you haven't turned the page. You got Wednesday coming up, but you have turned the page in that you're already gaining, some ground for 2019.
Yeah, this entire time after the early signing day, because we're so fortunate to bring, kids into our university on the campus, and they loved it. They committed. They signed. So we've been 2019 recruiting now for about a month. So everything is just full speed ahead. Everything I asked Coach Lambert for, he says, okay, let's do it. I'm waiting for him to say, no, let's wait a little bit. But we're at it, and we're rolling. I'm
curious because you look at baseball recruiting and basketball, it's a little bit different. You've seen, basketball kids in the 8th grade getting offers. What's it like for football? Because you haven't developed yet. You're not big enough. You're not that strengths part of your life. You might be quick and things like that, but it's hard to project in football, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I mean, you can see a kid's body structure, you can see his height and weight, and then you can ask his coach, so how tall is his mom, how tall is his dad, to try to gauge that growth. But some guys are 5'7" their freshman year and become 6'5" by the time they're seniors, and some guys are 6'1" when they're freshmen, and everybody's like, wow, this kid's going to be 6'6", and ends up being 6'1". So you have to be very careful of extending offers and making sure that you get the person that's the right fit. There are lots of football players out there all the time. I mean, you'll find them wherever you need to find them. There are lots of them. So Coach Lambert is in the mindset we're just going to take our time and make sure we get the right guys, whether it be character, academics, height, weight, and speed.
What makes you excited about this class?
Lots of length. And we had 9 guys enrolled mid-year. And I overheard Kevin talking about it. Some of these guys, you go out there and off-the-road recruiting and you just walk around and look at them. You're like, wow, this kid is here at Charlotte. Let's roll, baby.
Mm-hmm. When you talk length, I mean, it really is the total package. You like a good tall athlete, but it's sometimes more about, it could be maybe a stockier defensive line, but if he's got long arms, big, strong hands, that's the kind of length you're talking about, having that ability to be able to shed blockers. And every position is, those type of skills, that's what you're looking for, those abilities. And you got a lot of long, lean guys that are going to stretch the field, I think, for you guys and make it a more athletic team, especially on defense, bringing in some good DBs, some other guys, some linebackers. It looks like you got a good class.
Yeah, we're really happy about the class that we have right now. I mean, DBs, you talk about DJ Anderson, 6 foot, and then you talk about the mid-year defensive linemen that we brought in, adding a lot of length, and even some of the ones that are not here on campus yet, just 6'4", 6'5", 260. Those are the type of guys that you want. So when you get them here, Coach Durning, he does a great job. I got a soft spot in my heart for him because he helped develop me, all 6 foot, 280 pounds when I played. But he does a phenomenal job. If we can find a guy who's 6'4", 6'5", 240 pounds, I mean, if they have the right bone structure and they have the work ethic, and that's our job to find that guy, he'll make him a really good-looking player. So we're excited about that.
Well, signing day is always exciting because you got that future to look forward to, but we also got some guys coming back I know you're really excited about, some guys that redshirted last year from last year's class. So some nice pieces going forward.
Yeah, I saw a stat on Twitter. I think we have over 90% of the production coming back on our team. I think we rated like 8th or 9th in the whole country. So you think about it, a lot of guys got a lot of playing experience, and the off-season program so far has been going really well. You can see guys developing. I saw a couple of the defensive backs, and I was like, gosh, you guys look like linebackers. I mean, they're big, physically strong guys, confident. They got a great look in their eye, and I think that's going to be really good for the Niners coming up in 2018.
Yeah, just getting a little bit of roll. You got the 3 home games in a row to start things off. You got those guys coming back. A lot of the defense coming back. It's going to be exciting.
Very, very exciting. I told the guys today, I said, we got 3 tough ones coming up here, man. How are you going to prepare for them? You win the game today. Fordham, App State, and Old Dominion. Those are tough really good programs, 3 really, really good teams, and we got our work cut out for us. But our guys have a walk about them right now and a look about them in their eye where they're ready for it. So we're excited.
And I know, Coach, there's no downtime for recruiting. It's year-round.
Yep.
But on Wednesday after that final signing day, like, is that when spring starts in your mind and you're like, here we go, it's time to get the guys we have on campus already ready to go for summer camp?
Yeah, you know, that used to be the mindset, and just thinking about it, you know, with social media and the interaction you can have with guys, FaceTiming them and all that type of stuff, man, I miss the guys. You know, I've been missing them, and I've been FaceTiming and texting them and just, hey, how's everything going? Just more involved in their lives, where 10 years ago you just kind of you left them alone forever, and then you came back after signing day and you got rolling. But now it's kind of a constant, you know, kind of reiterating, hey, man, keep working, keep doing great things that you've been doing.
Well, let me tell you something. It'll make you feel good too, all right?
All right. I like feeling good.
Where my desk is and where guys kind of come and go through the offices, man, there's been a lot of kind of lost puppy dog looks as they're looking out for Edmonds. Where's Coach Edmonds? Is he going to be in today? Is he around?
That's because I got a candy jar.
Hey, is Thursday the one day that you're going to sleep in?
Well, that depends on one guy. I'm not going to say his name, but just going to say it depends on one guy. But you know what? I can't sleep in. I have a 3-year-old and an 8-month-old, so sleeping in to me is probably about 6 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, get reacquainted with them,
Yeah,
and great to have you back. Great job on the road, and signing this class, and looking forward to next season.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Ulrick, Edmonds, assistant coach, recruiting coordinator for the Niners, and back with Coach Lambert in a moment as we continue with Gold Mine Live on the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Okay, it's Ford Truck Month, and here's how it works. You take F-150 Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, work in best-in-class towing and payload, sweeten up the offer, and boom, look who just saved a stack of cash. Step on it, sport. Drive home America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. Ford Truck Month is here. It's buy now time, people.
Right now, get $10,459 in total savings on a 2018 F-150 during Ford Truck Month, only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Hotel. Guitar, reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party, relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
Welcome back to Gold Mine Live. Matt Swarad with Kevin Donnelly. Back with us is Brad Lambert, Niners head men's football coach, and Ulrick Edmonds has been our guest. I want to appreciate Coach Edmonds joining us, Niners recruiting coordinator. And Coach, boy, he does a great job, and second year now in that position to get that continuity now going forward. And I know you guys, we've been talking about it, like this class you brought in.
Yeah, he's done a fabulous job with this class. He just really good at recruiting, but he's a really, really good football coach as well. You know, he has the whole package, and that's what I really like about him. He's just a good man. You know, he's, like I said earlier, he's just the kind of person you want to be around every day, and he's somebody that if you're going to entrust your child to somebody, like, that's a guy you want to send them to, because he's going to take care of them. He's going to make them a better player, but he's going to make them a better man throughout this process, and make sure they graduate and make sure they grow and mature along the way. So just really excited that he's with us and continue to grow in this role and highlight our recruiting, because he's really good at it.
We spent some time earlier today talking about the offensive guys you've signed. We'll talk a little bit about the defense now, and that's also one of the stronger parts of this team coming back. A lot of returning starters from your defense here in 2017. Going to be a lot of competition, but also now some depth in positions.
Yeah, I think we got a chance to really build some depth on our defensive side of the ball, and looking forward to some of these guys coming in. DJ Anderson's a junior college corner we took. Out of Lackawanna, and he's coming in, and he's here now, so excited about getting him started. See if he can add some more depth in our back end of our defense. Really excited about this guy, Brian Wallace. He's not here yet as a defensive lineman. He's a 3-time state wrestling champion in Virginia, and he's trying to get his 4th this year. And I went up and got to watch him practice wrestling. And, of course, I grew up with wrestling my whole life. And so he's trying to break the school record. I mean, he's a highly motivated, from a wrestling family, and had a brother that went out to wrestled at Northern Iowa for a while, and he's chasing his brother's record at the high school. And I'm just really excited. I got to work with him at camp last summer. He's 6'4" and maybe 6'5". I mean, he's got really good length. He's 265 right now, very athletic, and I just really excited about him getting here once we get him here this summer. But he'll add some good depth in the D-line. And then Damon Weldon, Emmanuel White, guys that Emmanuel won't be able to play next year. He's, having some surgery done. But Damon's a guy out of Fork Union. He's a little bit older. I'm excited about getting him started. He's here now. He's a 6'5", good length guy. Heard Coach Edmonds talking to you about the length of this class. I think it's a real critical piece is you add that length to your team, whether it's pass rushing, whether it's defending on the back end. So it's I think the wideout positions is really good length in that position as well. So I'm really pleased with that part of it.
When you look back at last year, towards the end of the year, you guys got more pressure on the quarterback. The D-line really got more mature. They got more reps under their belt. The linebackers coming back. There's some experience right there. Do you feel like the D-backs, right now the secondary is where you got to improve the most?
Yeah, we were so beat up last year in the back end. I was just talking to Quentin over there. He had to play corner the last 6 games, and he and Robert Cheatham really came on. Robert hadn't played yet. He was a redshirt freshman. So we just got so beat up on the back end, in and out with injuries. I think that was the biggest issue back there, and we got pretty good depth coming back. And so if we can get those guys competing at a high level, competing for playing time, competing against our offense in the spring, look forward to watching those guys back there. But I think we got a chance to be pretty good on the back end.
Well, it looks like, at the linebacker level, obviously you lose Carrington King, was such a big component. Lost him midway through the season with the injury, but Anthony Butler stepped in pretty good. And I'm pretty happy what I'm seeing from him in these workouts and where he's trying to lead guys on the field. And a bunch of those other guys on the defensive side really have seemed to step up. It's been fun watching them grow as these younger guys with no experience. They're going to come back into spring and have some good experience, and I think a desire to get to that next level.
Yeah, those guys got a lot of valuable game reps last year. Anthony did. Was just a tough injury losing Carrington the way we did. But Jeff Gimmel, he got a lot of game reps, played the whole year. Anthony Butler. We've got to find another guy at inside linebacker. John Francois is a guy we redshirted last year. Really excited about watching him this spring. He's real, what I call heavy-handed. When he puts his hands on you, you know it. And so I'm excited about watching him play. He's a 230-pound guy that, I think can really help, contribute a lot at the inside linebacker position. And we're going to have to look at some guys. We may have to move some pieces around because that's the one position we got to add some depth to, and find some inside linebackers to put some depth in that position. Outside linebacker, we're in pretty good shape with Tyreek back, Alex, Foggy, a lot of game reps in those guys. So I think we'll be okay outside. So the key is, finding a couple more pieces at inside backer for us in that front 7.
And this is kind of random. You mentioned Tyreek Harris and Alex Highsmith. Just got an email from Jim Durning, the strength coach, this morning, how the box squats went last week. Yeah. And this is for 3 reps, but Alex Highsmith, 465 pounds squatting for 3 times. Tyreek, 515 for 3. They were ranked in the top 10 among the team. And that's part of that age, and guys getting older, and they're going into spring. You're expecting good things from them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Those guys really work extremely hard in all aspects of college life, whether it's in the classroom or in the weight room or on the field. So that doesn't surprise me. Those 2 guys would be 2 of our stronger guys. They're really hard-working guys, and they're high-character guys, and we need for them to be in those statistics and things like that. Alex, I thought, played extremely well last year. Had a lot of pressure on the quarterback, maybe not from a sack standpoint, but from a quarterback hit standpoint, in his face a lot. So we're going to have those guys play well.
Got a couple of breaks still to get in. We'll take one right now. Back in a moment. Talk a little bit more about the class that's coming in. And the schedule, too, came out recently, so we'll run that down as well. This is Gold Mine Live with head coach Brad Lambert. This is the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Okay, it's Ford Truck Month, and here's how it works. You take F-150 Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, work in best-in-class towing and payload, sweeten up the offer, and boom, look who just saved a stack of cash. Step on it, sport. Drive home America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. Ford Truck Month is here. It's buy now time, people.
Right now, get $10,459 in total savings on a 2018 F-150 during Ford Truck Month, only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift? We've got you. Guitar? Coming tomorrow. Road game today. Surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Guitar. Reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party. Relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
Welcome back to Goldmine Live here at the Student Union this week as we get closer to the second National Signing Day for football coming up on Wednesday. We're with head coach Brian Lambert. And, Coach, you brought in 18 players back in December. A couple we haven't talked about yet. One was a three-star running back, Tarek Smalls Jr. He's out of Savannah, Georgia. And a quarterback, Brady Pope, who's out of South Iredale High School up there in Statesville.
Yeah, Tarek's a guy. Coach Henry did a nice job down there recruiting him, and I really think he's kind of in that mold of Benny LeMay. He's really a productive running back. Really like the things he did on high school film. He's a dynamite student. So he's the kind of guy we want him in our program, and he's a productive football player, and he's going to represent us in the right way. So we're excited about him coming in. And then Brady's the guy. His production was off the chart. Really excited about the year he had. Led his team. He's a very productive quarterback, and so got a good head on his shoulders. Enjoyed meeting him and his family, and just sitting in their home. Just a lot of fun to be around that guy. I think he's going to be a good leader for us and have a chance to be a really good quarterback on the collegiate level.
Well, when you talk about quarterback, when you hear words like, he's the football equivalent of a gym rat, a guy that lives, breathes, and eats football, that's the kind of guy you want a quarterback, because he's going to put in all that extra time that other guys are going to realize he's invested in this thing, and they're going to work just as hard as he is.
Yeah, no doubt. That guy's got to be the leader of your football team, and he's got to be the guy out front and organizing things, and I think Brady will do that.
New coordinator, too. Fans get to meet him on Wednesday night. Shane Montgomery. Talk about that and, some of the things that he brings to this program.
Yeah, it's been fast and furious for him. Got here, hit the road recruiting, right when he got on, and so he's been in and out of town a lot, and we're just excited he's decided to join our program. He's a guy that has had good balance over the years, gives us a little bit more of a pro-style offense, played at NC State. Guys will be, our fan base will be excited to meet him and see what he brings to our offense and utilizing our tight ends and things like that. And his development of quarterbacks, like I say, played at NC State, played at a high level. Has coached a lot of good players over the years, and have competed against him when I was at Marshall and he was at UT Chattanooga. So have competed against him, and so we're excited he's decided to join the 49ers and look forward to getting in the spring with him.
Well, I know the guys are already kind of coming by his office whenever he's not on the road, kind of doing that drive-by and meet with the coach and get some time with him. And it's very limited this time of year, obviously, but just speaking with some of our quarterbacks, they seem to have a good rapport with him early on in this thing, which has been great.
Yeah, he's done a good job. He's got to know the guys, and this time of year we're in an 8-hour period, so you can meet with them for an hour a week, and he's done that. When he wasn't on the road, so. He's getting to know the guys, and the guys will get to know him, and the more as we just progress through it and get to install the offense and go from there.
He's developed some quarterbacks, Ben Roethlisberger being one, of course. And I first met him years ago at UT Chattanooga, and they had a wide receiver that year named Terrell Owens who just went into the Hall of Fame this week.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
What a heck of a competitor. He was on that team at Chattanooga when we played him, and he had a really good day against us. He did that to a lot of people, though. That was the crazy piece, but kind of like Randy when he was at Marshall. So those guys, he's done a good job over the years, and we're excited that he's going to get started.
We got one more break to take. I'm going to take it right now as we come back and spend more time talking about this 2018 schedule. It's really exciting. Some great games coming up, some good home games. We go on the road to Tennessee. It's going to be a lot of fun coming up starting on September the 1st. We'll take that last break, come back and talk about the schedule, wrap it up after that. This is Gold Mine Live on the Charlotte IMG Sports Network.
Okay, it's Ford Truck Month, and here's how it works. You take F-150 Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, work in best-in-class towing and payload, sweeten up the offer, and boom, look who just saved a stack of cash. Step on it, sport. Drive home America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. Ford Truck Month is here. It's buy now time, people.
Right now, get $10,459 in total savings on a 2018 F-150 during Ford Truck Month. Only at your Carolina Ford dealer.
Sophie, his 13th birthday. Gift, we've got you. Guitar, coming tomorrow. Road game today, surprise party tomorrow. Change of plans. Game tomorrow.
No, birthday tomorrow.
Guitar, reroute.
Birthdays are on birthdays.
Party, relocate. UPS My Choice makes rerouting packages easy. How we're helping companies solve for the needs of customers like Sophie.
Welcome back to Gold Mine Live. Got a few minutes left of the show with head coach Brad Lambert. Again, don't forget, coming up on Wednesday night, it's the annual football signing day dinner. It's going to be here on campus. The SAC, Kevin Donnelly, is going to host it. There are still some tickets available. You've got dinner, drinks, and, of course, all the talk of the upcoming season with the coaching staff and ask questions with all the coaches. Also this week, the Olympics start. It's going to start on Thursday, and the opening ceremony is coming up on Friday. And I bring it up because for the first time ever, the 49ers have a student athlete that's going to represent the USA in the Olympics. It is former track star Brianna Jones. She is a alternate on the U.S. women's bobsled team. So keep your eyes out for that when the bobsledding gets started. And congratulations to Brianna Jones. That's just really an awesome accomplishment.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Well, we also, thinking of cool stuff, we got a great schedule coming up in 2018. You got 3 straight home games. It starts with Fordham, but the one that I think a lot of fans probably have circled already because, of their tradition, that's App State coming down here for week 2, September the 8th at Jerry Richardson Stadium.
Yeah, we opened the year with Fordham. They got a new coach, so that's always a tricky piece. When you open the season with a team that has a new football coach, so you're trying to figure out what to watch and where to get the video and all those things, and make sure you're prepared. Because Fordham over the years has been a good football team. Mississippi State's head coach, Coach Moreland, was at Fordham, so he won a lot of games there. They've played well over the years, and then of course we come the next week. We got App State. Their program kind of speaks for itself, the things they've done over the years. Back to Coach Moore, and when we used to compete with them, we were at Marshall. They've just been winning at a high level for a long time, and Coach Satterfield's really done a nice job since they've transitioned to FBS. I think they've won 3 bowl games in a row, so they'll be a really, really tough opponent. And then the next week playing ODU here. This will be the earliest we played a conference game, I think, and so that just kind of the way the schedule worked out. Week 3, we had an open date. They had an open date. So you got to kind of plug those conference games in. I think ODU's got a couple early conference games with us and maybe FIU. So they've really, so those are our first 3 games, and then we go on the road up at UMass. The team that App played last year, they've played. We've had some similar opponents. And Coach doing a good job up there getting that program established. I know FIU beat them late in the year last year. But that'll be a tough challenge on the road as we take that first game.
Yeah, Coach Whipple back in the 1AA days won a national championship at UMass. He left. He came back, tried to rebuild it. They almost won at Tennessee. They did beat App State. You mentioned the FIU game. So whenever you go on the road, you look at the road schedule at UMass, at UAB, at Middle, Tennessee, Marshall, Florida Atlantic. No easy games right there, but you're up for the challenge. And if you win those games, that just says even more.
Yeah, no doubt. You want to go on the road and play well. But our schedule, conference-wise, the same opponents we played last year, and so we know what we're up against, and our guys competed. We need to win those games this year and go out and finish some of them and win those games and get ourselves in a bowl game.
Well, I'll add this as we're closing in on time. We got to get these people out here for this signing day chalk talk on Wednesday night. So I just want to encourage everybody.
About being the host.
Well, to me, I hate the way you're saying it because I feel like there's a lot of pressure on me. I'm going to be there to help the coaches highlight what's best about these players.
He's working on his monologue.
No, I'm not. And so we just want people out there because I think you got a little taste of what the recruiting and everything is about today, hearing a little bit about these players, but then some of the final guys will sign on Wednesday and really completing that class. And really, to me, 2018 season starts Wednesday night because it's when you can turn the clock and you're looking forward. It's spring ball, it's camp, it's all the work in the summer, and you're really kind of getting that energy and that emotion going to kick off the campaign and the schedule that you're talking about. So people, if they want to get out there, please get out there. Go to charlotte49ers.com/upcoming events. You can get tickets right there. I hear the music, which is a beautiful thing. We've closed out another football show.
A lot of fun just starting up 2018 here today. Coach, thanks so much. Congratulations to the class. Have a great spring, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, appreciate it, Matt. Thank you.
Head coach Brad Lambert, Kevin Donnelly, I'm Matt Swear. I want to thank Ulrick Edmonds as well, recruiting coordinator, for stopping by and telling us about how everything went down here in 2018. Again, the recruiting show coming up on on Wednesday night, 6 o'clock at the SAC on campus. So long, everybody.